What's up, guys? Matt Brown here for TheLines.com, and it is Sunday Night Football, and boy, week one is here, and I cannot wait for this game tonight. We got the Bucs at the Cowboys. As always, if this is your first time here, go ahead, hit that subscribe button down below. You know what? Even if it's not your first time here, and you've been here multiple times and you hadn't hit that subscribe button, go ahead, hit that subscribe button down below. Everything we do, absolutely free here over at The Lines. Of course, we have lots of stuff going on, including, whenever you head to the Sunday Night Football page here, a completely free $10,000 pick'em pool. So you got to get in on that as well. Very, very easy. NFL, Sunday Night Football preview. You'll get to this page right here. Bam. You're going to play for absolutely free. All right, so here we go. As we are recording this right now, the Bucs, you can find them as 2-point favorites, 2.5, and some other books out there. This total sitting 50-50.5, something like that. Right now. Over on the injury side of things, I mean, the biggest news here is a very thin wide receiver core for Dallas. We know that Russell Gage and Chris Godwin are both questionable for the Bucs in this one. That being said, Chris Godwin practiced in full on Friday. Looks like he's going to be able to go. Man, medical technology is absolutely crazy good right now. And listen, if he's out there, then this Bucs team, even Russell Gage isn't able to play. To what capacity does Julio Jones contribute? I guess we will find out here throughout the course of the first couple of weeks of the season. But again, as long as Godwin's out there, Godwin, Evans, I'm feeling pretty good about where the Bucs stand from a playmaker standpoint. Guys, as always, too, if you need any of these books, go ahead, just click on here, and you're going to get these awesome sign-up offers and bonuses and risk-free bets. This is the time of year to take advantage of all that here in week one. So they're giving you as much money as humanly possible. If we take a look at what we're going to get, we know banged up offensive line here for this Bucs squad. That being said, nobody is better at getting the ball out fast than is Tom Brady. The dude is just a wizard at getting the ball out of his hands, and he's very, very smart about it as well. He's not one of those dudes that's going to do anything to really risk, turning the ball over or making a bonehead play that could cost his team. He'll self-sack. Tom Brady will just fall over. We know this for sure. That being said, the offensive line could be a concern in this thing, especially when you consider when you got Micah Parsons on the other side for the Dallas Cowboys. So I think the offense is going to have to really operate under this quick kind of dink and dunk underneath stuff and just take advantage of, Tom Brady's good decision-making and not really allow Dallas to, again, what was supposed to be a strength of this team, the offensive line, but with all the injuries, certainly has made this at least somewhat of a liability for this Bucs team right here. So from a side standpoint, guys, I mean, listen, I am a little bit down on the Cowboys for the season as it is anyway, but I'm certainly further down on this team whenever we're talking about what we're getting from a playmaker standpoint with this squad. I mean, listen, they went and got James Washington. He goes down. He can't play this week. Michael Gallup, although he is trending really, really good for them. And listen, Gallup, I can't believe he's going to be back as soon as he's going to be back. He is officially out for this game. So they're going to be lining up, at the wide receiver position, Noah Brown, Jalen Tolbert. So outside of CeeDee Lamb, and it makes you wonder, I mean, don't you, if you're the Bucs, go in and just basically try and take CeeDee Lamb out of the equation and say you're going to have to beat us with a Noah Brown or a Jalen Tolbert? And if that's the case, I think this could be a little bit of a struggle for Dallas unless they just completely alter their game plan and go run heavy, which I actually think is probably the right way to go about it and probably what they're going to at least do, right? I mean, at first, we know for sure that they want to run the ball as it is anyway. They are very committed to Ezekiel Elliott, and of course they have Tony Pollard as well. So I think that might be the way that they go about all this. I just don't think it's going to be enough to get enough points on the board. I like the Bucs here at 2 as 2-point favorites. Of course, shop around on this thing. But again, if we look kind of just where these two teams sit as we head into the season, yes, despite the fact that the offensive line for the Bucs is going to have to make a couple of adjustments here, I am okay with Tom Brady being able to figure that out above any quarterback in the NFL and how to adjust the game plan to deal with the fact that their offensive line's a little bit banged up. They still have a ton of playmakers on the defensive side of the ball, and I do believe that that's going to slow down this Dallas Cowboys team. And so with that, I do like the Bucs here at 2. One thing I like even more, if we kind of go up here, this total. So we know these island games, right? in these island games, people come in late. They want to bet the over because they don't want to root for people to not score. If this thing gets on the other side of 51, if we can get to 51.5, I'm going to come in on the under. Listen, key numbers aren't what they used to be with, the way the style of play changing, the extra point, all the different things like that. One thing that has stayed tried and true is 51 from a total perspective is actually still very much a key number. 5.5% of the games over the last few seasons have landed on 51. And, it's just 51 is one of the only numbers that I pay attention to when I'm playing totals. There are others, but, one that I really, my eyes open big is 51. And so, look, we're sitting 50.5 and people haven't even really looked at Sunday night football yet. Of course, it's going to be the chase game, the get out game. People are going to be looking to make some bets on the only game that's going to be on television. So if this thing gets on the other side of 51, let's come in on the under on 51.5. The reason for this, again, if we're playing dink and dunk, like I believe that the Bucs are going to have to, that's a very high completion percentage for Tom Brady. What happens when you have a very high completion percentage? The clock continues to just run and trickle and run and trickle and trickle and trickle. Also, if I believe that the Cowboys' best offense against this Bucs defense with the way that their wide receivers are right now is to run, well, we know what running does, right? It keeps the clock going as well. So if we take a look at kind of what I believe the best path here is for both of these offenses, that leads me also to an under. But again, I want to get this on the other side of 51. So I think we can get there, but keep monitoring this for sure. If we can get to 51.5, we're going to come in on the under with this thing. If we are looking for some props this evening, guys, and again, you just come to the NFL, click on, odds, prop finder tool. It'll bring you to right here. While I don't think that this is going to be an incredibly, efficient passing attack from the Cowboys, listen, Dak Prescott's going to have to throw to somebody. And so if you look up here at Jalen Tolbert, however you wanted to go about this, whether you wanted to play the receptions of over 2.5 or even the over kind of 24.5 receiving yards, I think Jalen Tolbert is kind of going to be the de facto number 3 here. Schultz at tight end is going to be the biggest beneficiary of additional targets, in my opinion. It'll be CeeDee Lamb, Schultz, and then Tolbert. But I do believe Tolbert's going to kind of fall into that number 3 receiver, unless, of course, they do something wacky with Tony Pollard. And if that's the case, we just can't predict that type of stuff right here. Early in the season, we're making a bunch of assumptions. We're making a bunch of kind of like how we think things are going to go, but we haven't seen anything play out on the field just yet. And so my assumption is that Tolbert is kind of that 3rd receiving option. And if that's the case, I do like a couple of overs on them, even though I'm not very high on the offense altogether. What that does do also, though, for me is if I believe that they're going to be extremely run heavy and certainly be limited when it comes to receiving options here, I kind of like the under on Dak Prescott at 1.5 touchdown passes because, again, one, they get in the red zone. They like feeding Zeke as it is anyway. I don't think that there's a big chance of Dak just going completely off in this game either. So I kind of am going to take the plus money here on the under 1.5 touchdown passes, just strictly based off the personnel, the game plan, in my opinion, and then also their propensity to run the ball once they get into the red zone. Certainly inside like the 5-yard line, they're not doing like trick pass plays and things like that. They're going to feed Zeke when they get down there. So I do like kind of the under 1.5 as well on Zach when it comes to on Dak, I should say, when it comes to touchdown passes. The only other one that is at least mildly interesting to me, that being said, I'm not going to, it's not going to make the account quite yet unless I hear something different as we approach, is Leonard Fournette and his receptions, right? Because if I believe that they're going to kind of dink and dunk down the field, then he's going to be the beneficiary of getting some of this stuff out of the backfield. And so if that's the case, you can kind of see, look, his yardage is actually fairly high, right? 29.5. And you can see his receptions are actually pretty high too at 4.5. That being said, if I believe that that's kind of how this is going to go, then that certainly leans me towards the over there. Going to wait for some more information as we get closer to game time to see if anyone kind of spills the beans on what the game plan is going to be. And if that's the case, I would play Leonard Fournette on the over on receptions as well. Guys, listen, first week of Sunday Night Football. Could not be more excited. Super happy to be here with you this season. Hopefully we can make a bunch of money. Of course, completely free, $10,000 free pick'em pool here in sponsored by TheLines. So be sure and enter that as we get going, because this is just, again, free money for you just picking some games over the course of the season. And of course, as always, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Let us know in the comment section, how are you playing Sunday Night Football? Good luck on all your bets.